Hello everyone. Today we will study the layout of thermal power plant. After this lecture, you will be able to draw the layout of thermal power plant, identify different equipments used in the thermal power plant. You will be able to explain the working of thermal power plant, advantages and disadvantages of the thermal power plant. So, at starting, first of all we will identify the equipments that are used in the thermal power plant. So you can see that here is the boiler. If you can see that here is the boiler, center is there is a boiler. Here we supply the coal, here we supply the water, and with the help of coal and water we convert this water into the steam, and that steam is utilized to rotate the turbine. If and turbine and the alternators are coupled with this alternator, as the turbine rotates your alternator also rotates, and in this way it will generate the electricity. Okay, so this is the one of the overview of this thermal power plant. We'll see the main components. Okay, first one is the boiler. Okay, in this boiler we will supply the coal. There is a coal storage department and coal handling plant. In this coal handling plant, okay, I will explain it later. Then you can see that here is after the boiler, there ash is generated. Ash is treated in ash handling plant and sent to the ash storage. Okay, next you can see that uh, after the boiler there is a superheater which heats the steam up to the 545 degrees centigrade. Then economizer, air preheater, and after air preheater there is, you can see that here, induced draft fan and chimney. Okay, and in the right side you can see that the turbine, before the turbine there is a valve. Okay, after the turbine there is a alternator, and for after the turbine steam is going to into the condenser. Okay, uh, then cooling tower, and from this condenser again this steam is fed back to the boiler through the economizer. Okay, so you can see that start from our coal storage, then ash handling plant. Okay, so for I'm explaining one by one. Okay, so we required the coal for operation of the power plant. That coal is storage in the coal storage areas. Now this coal, from this coal storage area, coal is passed on to the coal handling plant, where coal is treated and make it into the pulverized. Pulverized means very very fine powder which is fed to the boiler. Okay, now coal is reached to the boiler. Now we require the water. So water is, we take this water from this river. You can see that at the bottom of the this diagram there is a river. Okay, just wait. Okay, so at the from the sorry from this bottom of the river we take the water, and as this water is not pure demineralized water, we treat this water at this water treatment chamber. Okay, now and we make the water demineralized one. Okay, now this water is circulate through the feed water pump towards the feed water heater. At this feed water heater, water is the temperature of the water is increases. Okay, Now this water is sent to the economizer. In economizer, we also increase the temperature to some extent such that the already heated water can be supplied to the boiler. Okay. Now after the economizer, water is reaches to the boiler. Water is reaches to the boiler. Now here what happens, uh, with the help of the burning coal, we increases the temperature of the water, and water is converted into the steam. But this steam is the wet steam. This steam is the wet steam, not dry and saturated. From this wet stream, we separate the water content and only steam. Okay, though steam is that we got, we increase the temperature of this steam with the help of the superheater. Superheater utilizes the heat which is wasted from the boiler. Okay, it captures the heat which is wasted from the boiler. Superheater captured that heat, and this heat is utilized to increase the temperature of the steam further. At the superheater, the temperature of the steam is increases up to the 545 degrees centigrade. At this temperature, the steam is dry and saturated. Okay, completely dry and saturated, which has a very high pressure. Okay, now after the superheater, the steam is now sent to the valve, and through this valve it is sent to the turbine. Will increase the temperature, will increase the pressure of the steam. This high pressurized steam, high temperature and high pressurized steam is fed to the turbine. Is this steam is impinged on the turbine blades. Due to this force, the turbine starts rotating, and turbine and the generator is coupled with this coupling. As the turbine rotates, your alternator also rotates. Okay, and the EMF has been generated with the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, and from alternator we transmit this electricity towards the load center. You can see that over here, from alternator to bus bar. Okay, now after the turbine, at the turbine, the steam release their pressure and the temperature to the blades, and now the low pressure and low temperature steam is reaches to the condenser. The function of the condenser is to convert the steam into the water. We will reutilize this water for again to generate the steam, and again further it is this steam will be utilized for the rotation of the turbine. uh, by doing this, we can increase the overall efficiency of the thermal power plant. Okay, from condenser, those uh, those steams is not able to convert into the condensate. It sends to the cooling tower. Cooling tower is the height of the cooling tower is very high, 50 to 60 meters. uh, we release the steam from the top of the cooling tower, and with natural effect, it the steam is cooled down, and it converts from steam into the water. Again, this after the cooling tower, we got the demineralized water, and that is sent to the again to the condensate extraction pump. Okay, this condensate extraction pump suck the uh, demineralized water, and sends to the again economizer through feed water heater and feed water pump. This pump will send the water to the feed water heater and again economizer. Okay, this chain will be continuous. Okay, now you can see that here from the boiler, the flue gases also emits. This flue gases sends to the superheater, which increases the temperature of the steam, as I told you earlier. This further, the flue gases will be unutilized, so we install the economizer above the superheater such that it also acquires some heat from the flue gases. Okay, so economizer acquires the heat and gives to the water. Then again we further utilize this the temperature of the flue gases, which will acquire the air preheater that temperature. The function of the air preheater is to suck the air from the environment, which is at the normal temperature air, and increases the air preheater increases the temperature of that natural air, so that this hot air is can be sent to the boiler. As we know, we required air for the continuous burning of the coal. Okay, so with the help of this hot air, the burning of coal is uniform. Okay, and we can increase the efficiency. Okay, after the flue gases after the air preheater, the flue gases is sucked by this induced drop fan. It will suck the air and it will send the flue gases to the chimney discharges the flue gases at a very high altitude, such that the carbon dioxide particle must not settle down. Okay. Mm, After the boiler, below the boiler, there is ash hopper collects the ash, and it sends to the ash handling plant. What happens in the ash handling plant? We create a slurry. We add some water in the ash, and it becomes the slurry. And this slurry is sent to the ash storage area. Here we store the ash. So some thermal power plants uh, store the ash. Now some thermal power plants are uh, are selling this ash for creating the cements, for creating the bricks. So by selling the ash, the thermal power plant also gains the some kind of profit. So this is the complete layout of thermal power plant. Okay, so advantages of thermal power plant is that we can use the thermal power plant as a base load power plant. The electricity generated, the per the per unit electricity generated with the help of thermal power plant is very very less. Okay, but the main disadvantage is that it creates the pollution. Due to the burning of fossil fuels, it creates the pollution. Okay, so this is the complete layout of thermal power plant that we have studied. Okay, so after studying this layout of thermal power plant, I have some quiz questions for you that I will provided in the further case. Thank you.